Okay, contrary to popular belief, I am not headed to a Nigel Thornberry lookalike contest. I'm about to go for my walk. All right, guys, I wrangled Healthy Mummy for just a little Q&A. Yeah. So I asked my group, my Slim program clients, for some questions for you, and they're really good questions.
Awesome.
So what motivates you to stay healthy and active at this stage of your life?
Well, I know the difference now between what it feels like in my body, and I feel so much more confident and strong and resilient when I continue with my daily exercise plan. That's what really keeps me going. And as we've sort of joked about, I'm not getting any younger. I don't have any grandchildren yet, and I really want to be my best self when that time comes.
I think that what's important to point out here is that you're very in tune with how you feel when you do these things. Yep. And that's something that's very easy to lose because people are so focused on checking off the box or when I'm able to fit in those jeans. Like they're not staying in the moment and actually checking in with their body and saying, how is my energy? How is my sleep? Do I feel light? Am I able to move easily? It sounds like you're very in tune with how you feel day to day. And on the days where you're not able to eat the way you normally do or move the way you normally do, you can feel it.
I'm going to let you know a little secret. Feeling is everything. Feeling is everything about making the life that you want to happen. If you're just going through the motions and hating every minute of it, it's not going to work for you. If you take time, like I do in the morning, to meditate and calm down and be quiet and be peaceful and feel how I want to feel, that leads my day.
That's very insightful. I encourage clients to pull up the feelings wheel. I love the feelings wheel. It's like 100 different feelings to help them name how they're feeling. And it's so interesting to watch a client do this because they'll look at the feeling, they'll go, oh my God, that's how I'm feeling.
Right.
They never give themselves the opportunity to check in and actually say, how am I feeling right now?
Right. Believe it or not, there is a future you out there with your goals met. Get into how it would feel to already be there and embody that. That's the secret.
And you have to play the long game.
You do. Yes, it's a journey. Yeah, and a practice.
Yeah. Well, that was a great answer. And feel free to hold this one.
At 11:11.
How has your relationship with your body changed over the years?
I've become a lot more acceptant, that I'm not striving for perfection that simply doesn't exist. I'm striving for a place where I feel strong for someone who's in my 60s.
That's something I was thinking about today because, I'm getting really in shape for my wedding. And then I'll probably fatten up a little bit if I want to have kids. And then I'll have kids and need some reserves to breastfeed. And I was just thinking about how the body changes over time and to meet yourself where you are right now and not live in the regret from the past, from all the years that you didn't do things correctly, or like, well, is it even worth it at this point? Just meet yourself where you are right now and say, what does my body need right now? And that's going to change over time.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. I'm reminded of a little saying that I used to have in my office that said, got baggage, let it go. And just, as I said, put yourself in that person that you want to become, in your feelings, in your heart, and just keep going.
It's something Kiki used to talk about, mindset coach in the SOS program. She'd talk about the psychological cognitive trick of acting as if, where you act as if you've already got everything that you wanted to get. And something that I do is like in my business with creating content, the creative block that keeps me stuck is thinking, okay, well, this content has to be geared toward what my business offers. I can't just make willy-nilly beautiful aesthetic content, but actually, if I do that, I will create content that will attract more people, and it's better long-term for me to release that creative block. So I act as if I've won the lottery when I create content so that I can create content that's very beautiful and aligned with the, how I want to show up online. But in terms of, health and wellness and fitness, like, once I've lost the weight, I'll feel confident going to the gym and I'll be motivated to eat healthy. You have to act as if that's who you already are.
Right. Especially if you're going to the gym. I'm not a gym person myself, but I assure you that everybody in that gym is feeling the same way you are. So just go be yourself. When you practice yoga, your world ends on the mat. That's all you're concerned with is you on the mat, and it should be the same way for you in a gym.
And something I say to clients is like, if you only have 30% to give and you give 30%, you've given 100%. So I was at the gym this morning, and the kid that was using the machine next to me is ripped, and he was pushing so much weight. And then I got on that same machine and I had to put the weight up like 50 pounds less. But he didn't work any harder than I did. We both gave 100% effort,
Right.
but it's different for different people.
Right. That's like labor and delivery. You could deliver a 6-pound child and a 9-pound child. You're both still working the same.
I have a 12-pound child
Yeah.
and an 8.4-pound child. What are the non-negotiables in your wellness routine? And wellness, can encapsulate fitness, food, spirituality, self-care, skincare.
Wow, that's about that. That's it. That's all check. That's all of them. It's funny because Dad was saying the other day, we're talking about osteoporosis and medications, and he said, you are so dedicated to your routine that it's admirable, and it's just always been that way. Even when the kids were little, I am an organized person. I benefit from an organized life, and now that I'm not working anymore, this is sort of like my little job. Yeah, I think that things like skincare and whatnot are my little self-care treats to myself. But spirituality, physical activity, and remaining as strong as I can are non-negotiables.
That's something I was talking about with Michaela recently, because Michaela and I are both working on gaining muscle and tone and shape and definition. I'm doing it for my wedding because my dress requires me to be ripped. But we were talking about how, I come from a background of running where I would run 6 miles. I was done in less than an hour, and that was the workout for the day. The workout could take me 45 minutes, and I was done. And now that I'm doing strength training, and I'm still doing running, I'm still walking with my weights, my workout routine takes hours now.
Time,
Yeah, it takes a lot of time. And that was very hard for me to justify. I felt very guilty at first, spending so much time in the gym. Like, shouldn't I be working right now? Other people might not have this privilege. And I remind myself that it's such a privilege to be able to go and do this and work my body and have a healthy body. So shifting it from guilt to gratitude and putting more of the attitude and energy toward being thankful and excited in growth, as opposed to looking at it like I shouldn't be spending so much time here, I should be doing something else, but to just be so grateful that I have the ability to do this.
Right, and we change over time. I mean, when I was working and the kids were small, I would get up and run in the morning, and that was it for the day. But lately, I've noticed that I know it takes time.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think, well, why don't I just break it up? Well, I don't have to be that, rote about it. And, you can break these things up and lift some weights while dinner is cooking or while you're watching whatever it is you're watching for a little while. Break it up. And if you only do a little, you've done some better than nothing.
Yeah, you have to know yourself too. For some people that works.
Yeah.
For me personally, like if it's not done in the morning.
Right. It ain't going to get done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also have to work out when like my brain's not on yet.
Yep.
So that I can't feel the pain.
Yep. Yeah. And that's okay. And that may change throughout your life, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
I am coming at you live from Healthy Parents' house. There's a plant here. My parents are celebrating 40 years of marriage. They've been together for 47 years, since September 30th, 1978, but marriage for 40 years. So we are celebrating by having pizza that is from the city that they got married in. They got married in New Haven, Connecticut, and there is a Frank Pepe Pizzeria in the Boston area. So we all got pizzas, and what I love is that on their website you can customize no oil. There's literally a button that says no oil that you can click. You can customize no cheese. So I have here my individual pizza with sauce and spinach. I'm gonna throw it back in the oven so it crisps up a little bit, but here's a better shot of it. And Healthy Mummy is going to talk to you a little bit about her skincare because everyone was so interested. So we're going to talk a little bit more about KPS.
So everybody loved hearing about Healthy Mummy's skincare routine.
Oh, that's nice.
So we just wanted to chat a little bit more about it. So tell us about what you use and why you love it.
Well, as I said before, I really adore starting out with the cleansing oil, the aromatherapy cleansing oil, and then following up with this brightening cleanser. And then I use the toner, of course, after. Shake before you use. It does not make your skin feel stripped at all. At nighttime, I treat myself to this superfood elixir, which is just unbelievable. Again, another oil product that I never thought I would ever use on my face. It's fantastic. And during the day, the Renew C Plus Serum, which has been fantastic for my face and my neck, as a matter of fact. And then a couple of treats at night, which I adore, are the rose peel. You put it on, you leave it on for 10, 20 minutes, and then take it off with a warm cloth. It's fantastic. And then this is the cacao mask, which I will put on at the end of the day before I'm going to take a shower, leave it on for a good long time, 20, 30 minutes, and then get in the shower and remove it, and then finish up with my nighttime routine.
And I will just remind everybody that KPS is giving you guys 50% off. Thank you, KPS, for sponsoring this vlog. You can use the code Emmy. They have a money-back guarantee. It's seriously a no-brainer. Once you have the products in your hands, you're not going to want to stop having them. So try it out and be as happy as Healthy Mummy. Okay, so what were they, Mom? Starting closest to me?
Peanut butter chip, chocolate almond chip.
Of the Ninja Creamy.
Oh, okay, I know what this is. More vinegar. Nice, more vinegar. I got sweet heat, fresh basil balsamic, chocolate orange balsamic. Now that's a combo. Teriyaki balsamic. We didn't have that before. All right. And if you see all the vinegars up there, you can see we've used them.
Good morning, guys. I'm about to head to the gym and I'm going to show you my slick back routine. Slick backs work best on greasy hair, on dirty hair. So if your hair is freshly washed, it's not going to work as well. Part down the middle. We're going to put it up into a ponytail, and this is not what you think it is. This is not a ponytail that has been used to the gods. I buy them like this. I actually get them from the dollar store. They're specifically designed for thick hair girlies or people like me, because I don't have thick hair. I just have a ton of hair. I have fine hair, but I have so much of it. These are a godsend because you can wrap it around a zillion times. So if you have thick hair, look for these. Then depending on your face shape, you either will look best with a low bun, mid bun, or high bun. My face shape tends to be more bottom heavy. I don't have like a heart shape to my face. So when I wear a bun down here, it just pulls everything down. It doesn't work. So I do better with mid or high. Before you do the ponytail, you need a slick back brush. This is the game changer. Slick everything back. I have gel that I will use sometimes, but I try not to use it because then if I want to wear my hair down, then it's super greasy. But I will use it if I'm going to a formal event or going out. But for going to the gym, I won't use it. Ponytail up, 2. I'm gonna show you how many times this goes around. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, it's the best. Then I take a big scrunchie, twist, form it into a bun, scrunchie it up. Then I'll go back with my slick back and just make sure everything's in place. There we have it. I like to wear my jewelry to the gym. Like I've already done my run, did a 3-mile run, that's complete. And I feel pretty when I wear my jewelry. My jewelry tells a story, that's the way I want it to be. So every year, I usually treat myself to a piece. I started doing this a few years ago. Every Black Friday, I treat myself to a new piece of gold jewelry so that over the years I can build up a collection of jewelry that can be passed down and that will last me forever. They say I can't remember what that clever saying is, buy buy nice, buy once, buy cheap, buy, somebody tell me. So the story behind my jewelry, I got these gold earrings. This is what kicked off my treat myself once a year. Then I have my initial necklace with my initials. I have fun initials, they're Eek. When I get married, I will eventually add on my husband's last name, but I'm not gonna get rid of my last name. I'm really proud to be a part of the family that I'm proud that I am, that I was raised by, and that this has been me for 30 years. I'm just really proud of the parents that raised me, so I would be heartbroken to get rid of that name. I'd also be heartbroken if my kids like don't have any part of my name. I just feel like that's so antiquated. Like, I don't know, I mean, to each his own, but I said to my fiance, I go, imagine you got rid of your last name and you took mine. Like, how crazy would that be? And he's super understanding, like, I can do whatever I want. Anyway, I have my initials, which eventually I'll add on another last name, but I'm not gonna get rid of EEK, just add on another name. And then my kids, I want them to have my last name and my husband's last name. Okay, and then this little diamond, my great-grandmother had 3 diamonds, a ring with 3 diamonds, and passed it down to my, oh wait, no. This is a separate story, which I'll tell you about. This was my engagement present. When I got engaged, my mom got me this diamond. Then I have a set of earrings I'll tell you about later, but I need to get my second hole. Okay, let's go to the gym. Let me tell you guys something. I forgot these on one of my trips recently. I went away for the weekend to Pennsylvania and I forgot to bring these. I noticed such a difference in my energy because this B12, this is like an energy shot. It's like drinking caffeine, seriously, and I didn't have it and I noticed a difference. So I'm so happy to be back on my routine, to have access to these things because I feel such a difference when I take it versus when I don't. So these are my slim supplements. They're linked below. I'm on a plant-based diet, so I take both of these. Otherwise, I would be deficient. In fact, I was deficient in vitamin D, which is why I made this supplement because I wasn't supplementing with it and then I was deficient. And if I didn't supplement with vitamin B12, I would be deficient in that as well. So these are the cleanest that you'll find. No GMOs, no sugar, no oil, no gross stuff. Linked down below. You can bundle them and save money and get them to your door every single month. My mom is coming over today, so you'll see her. But we have cleaning ladies. It is the best money that we spend every 2 weeks. I'm not even kidding you. They do such a good job. But, okay, guys, come on. Like, shark circling me. They're like, are you leaving? But because of the holidays, it was the 4th of July. As you know, I have been traveling. I'm like a newfound travel blogger. All I do is travel now, but thank God I'm done. I've just been traveling so much that we haven't had the cleaning ladies in like 6 weeks. We could definitely use it just because like this is my studio. I film in here. I'm always cooking different recipes. But anyway, my house is not, or my apartment is not as clean as I would like it to be. Like, what is this? What is this? And my mom is coming over, and so like I need to clean this apartment, but I'm not awake yet either, and I need to go to the gym before I'm awake so that I like don't remember the workout. But this is a very special workout because I'm not supposed to tell you guys this until August 11th, but you're my homies, my YouTube fam. I am coming out with a Get Wedding Ready fitness program inside of Slim. So if you're in Slim, you'll get access to it. It is the exact plan that I'm doing to get in shape for my wedding. So if you want to work out exactly how I will be working out until next year for the next, I don't know, 9-10 months and get the same results I do, that's going to be in Slim. So I am going to be giving you a little sneak peek of that this morning. Okay, contrary to popular belief, I am not headed to a Nigel Thornberry lookalike contest. I'm about to go for my walk. Even though the UV index is 2, like, this face will not see sun. So I finished my weights. Now it's time for the walk portion of the workout, weighted. And I'm wearing a backpack because I really like to go to Whole Foods on my walk. I like to walk to Whole Foods. I'll walk to the Asian market, see what they got going on, what's the produce looking like, what's on sale, what's the 411. And I usually pick a couple things up. And it's easier to carry it in a backpack. I'm also gonna be doing the ultimate test of strength because I'm gonna be doing a little Q&A while we're on the walk. So let's get to it. So when I first got into coaching, I was helping individuals that were brand new to the plant-based lifestyle and weight loss and really just needed things to be very simple, straightforward, black and white in a good way. And so when they would ask about things like supplements or like lion's mane and things that were a little bit more nuanced and the little minute details, I would say, don't worry about that stuff. Like, you're getting lost in the sauce. We need to look big picture. And then my audience was sort of cultivated around individuals that really just needed things very simple, very straightforward. And I didn't want them to misplace their energy. What I didn't want people to do was to take supplements or, work on biohacking or whatever it is and not look big picture and change their lifestyle and then be frustrated because they weren't getting results. And so that became a point that I would really drive home on my content, is I would tell people, don't worry about the little things, look big picture, like let's keep this very simple. Let's just look at the nutrition. And over time, and because that became sort of my stance with helping people, because I really wanted people to understand that all of that stuff is not going to work unless you make a lifestyle change, I think it may have come across as though I don't believe in those higher level forms of mastering your health. But that is not true. And it's actually something that I've become very more open-minded to, which is the power of like the varsity stuff. So if we think of mastering your lifestyle as JV, the next step to that is looking into biohacking and supplements and all of that stuff that does make a difference, but only if you're doing the baseline and you've made the lifestyle changes. I talked about this with my mom, that a lot of people confuse supplements. They think that supplements is synonymous with replacements and they won't make any changes to their healthy lifestyle, but they'll use supplements and think that that's going to make up for not doing those lifestyle changes. So now, I've been plant-based for over 10 years at this point. Like, I've got the lifestyle changes down packed. So now I'm looking into more, like I'm experimenting more with biohacking and with supplementation and increasing my protein intake. Like, I can get into the minute details. So that is something that I just want to clarify, is once you master the lifestyle changes, then you've kind of earned the opportunity to look into the higher level varsity methods of biohacking your health. But I still do stand by the fact that none of that is going to be as effective as it would be if you've made the baseline lifestyle changes. So not necessarily like what I've unlearned, but just something that I wanted to clarify about how my stance around that may have looked like it has changed, but it hasn't. I've always believed in the effectiveness of the higher level health hacks, but I really always want to drive home to my audience that you've got to get the base level lifestyle changes down first. Okay, the next question is, what's something you used to recommend that you don't anymore? And I wouldn't necessarily say it's around recommendations, but it's something that I used to do and I didn't see the effectiveness of doing something else until I got older. And that is, I used to run like crazy. I've always loved running, but I used to run at least 6 miles every day. And then like in the peak of my running, when I was 19-ish, I would run like 8 to 12 miles a day. ran marathon, won the marathon for my division. Like I'm very competitive inherently and very competitive with myself too. And so I would run like a maniac and I truly loved it. Then when I was about 25, I got injured and I went to the chiropractor for this injury. And he said, you've got to stop with this volume of running. And so I did. So I cut my volume in half. Ever since then, for the past 5 years, I've done about 3 miles a day. And over the past few years, recently shifted more of my focus toward weightlifting and really seeing and advocating for the benefit of lifting weights, especially as women get older, in order to protect your bone health. And women just naturally are going to decline in muscle mass as we get older. And if you want a healthy metabolism, if you want to burn more calories at rest, it is not about being skinny as you get older. It is about being fit and having muscle tone and shape. And as you know, I'm getting in shape for my wedding. I'm getting in like the best shape of my life. And then I'll fatten up for having a baby. But truly, the importance of lifting weights is something that I wasn't privy to when I was younger. And now I really advocate for it for women. Okay, now I'm heading into the Asian market. This is my home. Like, this is where I'm at home. Next question is, how has my relationship with food changed over the years? The biggest shift that I've seen, and I can, thank time for this and also just getting older, is a growing confidence in the way that I eat. So when I started eating this way, I was 19 when I started eating a plant-based diet. And not only at that time was it not like a plant-based lifestyle, was like, this was very, nobody was doing this, but also to be a 19-year-old girl, let this truck pass, to be a 19-year-old girl that was eating this way, it was something that people would raise their eyebrow at, and I felt super self-conscious about it. And it was so hard because I truly wholeheartedly believed in whole food plant-based, but didn't get a lot of approval from those around me because it was concerning that a 19-year-old girl was particular about the way that she ate, right? But how crazy is it that we live in a society where eating fruits and vegetables is a red flag? Like, you want me to go eat McDonald's and drink alcohol like everybody else? It really just goes to show how backwards it is that like eating fruits and vegetables is red flag and something to be concerned about. And anyway, like I said, in my heart of hearts, I truly believed in this way of eating. And thankfully, my parents have always been so supportive of me, and loved ones, like significant others, always so supportive. But speculation on the internet was always something I was self-conscious about, just being a young woman eating this way. And over the years, I've proven to others, like, it's been over 10 years that I've been on this lifestyle. If I had it wrong, it probably would have shown by now. And I've just gotten older too. And when you get older, they can't like look down on you as much anymore. So the way my relationship with food has changed is I have just become more confident in my relationship with food and proud of it. And I've always believed that it is the best thing to do. And now that I have over 10 years under my belt, it's like if somebody has something to say, it's like I've been thriving on this for 10 years, And I know this is something that a lot of people can identify with, is feeling sort of embarrassed or self-conscious about eating this way. I hear this a lot from my clients. They'll say like, who am I to eat this way if I have all this weight to lose? And the other people that I am telling that this is the right thing to do to are thin. So they feel embarrassed about that. And what I would say is play the long game. Because like I said, it's been 10 years and now I can say to people like, hey, it's been 10 years and I'm thriving on this lifestyle. Play the long game, stay committed to your goals, because when you are at the place where you have lost the weight, you feel confident, you're glowing, you're fit, and you're still eating this way, how sweet is that going to be? So this is it's fire under your bum to keep you committed to eating this way, so that you can finally be able to say to people like, yeah, I eat this way and look at what it does. All right, now we are heading into Whole Foods, which is good because my shoulder could use a break from holding this camera. I figure while I'm here, I'll show you some of my fave products. With the salad dressings, oh my gosh, where is it? Guys, where's the lemon herb tahini? They're all out, but usually there's lemon herb tahini here from Kava. That doesn't have any oil. But okay, below it, we have some more no oil dressings. So we have the avocado vinaigrette, the fig balsamic, and the sesame ginger. All of these are oil-free. These are good treats for on the go. You could make them yourself, but they don't contain anything added to them, I believe, for the ingredients. Yeah, peanuts, dates, sea salt, and then they have some other flavors here. So they have chia, key lime, coca, walnut. So good little on-the-go treats, but definitely calorically dense. Let me put you on, if you don't already know, mango salsa or pineapple salsa is going to absolutely change the game for your Mexican food. Throw that on bowls. I know this is not going to be news to people, but the cotton candy grapes, if you haven't tried them, literally taste exactly like cotton candy. If you are constipated, get yellow dragon fruit. It'll clean you right out. As we know, these are the best potatoes known to man. These, I love the size of these too. The Japanese, oh my gosh, the best. And then the Hannah yams literally taste like toasted marshmallows when you roast them in the oven whole. I'm the queen of bread. If you live in the Boston area, we absolutely love Iggy's bread, the French rolls, no oil baguettes, no oil added. We also love Neshoba Brook Bakery if you live in the Boston area. So these are all sourdough breads. The rosemary garlic is the best one. Oh my gosh, we die over the rosemary garlic. So local to the Boston area. I believe that these are oil-free breads as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, these are also oil-free. When pigs fly, I believe they got good stuff too. Let's just check the ingredients and make sure that there's no oil. Yep, looking at the ingredients, this passes my test as well. When pigs fly. Also, I'm a big fan, if you like pita bread, the Ezekiel pita pockets are oil-free. They have them. Oh my gosh, and they're on sale. The Etoria's Lavash, I'm also a big fan of for wraps. Those are oil-free. If you want a cheesy taste to whatever you're eating, any of these nutritional yeasts. But I think a lot of people don't know that they also have flavored ones as well. So this is a smoky barbecue. And then sometimes they've got some other flavors here. Another great thing to add is everything bagel seasoning. If you're looking for something salt-free, Bragg's has the 24 herbs and spices salt-free. I've talked about solely fruit gummies before. Big fan, no sugar added. Their stuff tastes just like candy. Three Wishes, I've had them on my taste test Tuesday before. We love Three Wishes, truly. This tastes like Apple Jacks. There is some sugar in it, but look how minimal the ingredients are. This is great. If you have kids that eat cereal, give them Three Wishes instead. Ezekiel cereal is also one that I'm having my fiance try. He used to eat a lot of Raisin Bran with a ton of sugar in it. So I've been having him cut it with this. So he still has his Raisin Bran, but he adds in some of this to cut it. These are all oil-free with no sugar. Oh my gosh, you guys, maple candy. If I am going to treat myself around the holidays, maple candy is what it is because it's just made from maple syrup. Of course, it's calorically dense. This box is 150 calories, so they're pretty calorically dense. And then we got these ones too. But like I said, they're literally just made from maple syrup. They are literally crack. But if you're going to treat yourself with that. I also recommend these for diluting cereal. If you're a cereal addict, add in these. They're super calorically dilute and they'll give you more volume with less calories. I seriously could do this forever, but I got to keep this day going because Healthy Mummy is coming over. So we'll finish up our walk and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, back from my walk. Now I gotta speed to get ready. Well, no, I gotta clean up, shower and get ready, and then Healthy Mummy will get here, and here comes V. Healthy Mummy and I are gonna film, so I think I'll see you when she gets here. I'm giving Healthy Mummy a little thank you package for filming. Guys, do you know about these? well-being bars. I'm working with them on Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok, and they didn't ask me to post on my long form, but I'm obsessed with them, so I'm posting on these because I want to tell you about them. So they are completely oil-free, sugar-free, they're whole food plant-based, and they're made from beans. So there's a ton of fiber. It's a really great thing to give to kids or to have on the go or to bring with you when you're on an airplane. They have chocolate flavors, they have brownie flavors, but I think Healthy Emmie would like the lemon poppy seed, so that's for her. Some healthy gummies, some electrolytes and drink packets, and then the Plant Strong almond milk. So let's wrap all this up. My assistant. Thank you, assistant. So helpful, as always. Okay, Healthy Mummy's here, if you want to come into the frame. So we have a little thank you gift. You can take off the bow if you'd like, or keep it in.
Green gummies.
Yep, so we have superfood green gummies,
Yep.
which taste exactly like candy. I can give you 2 if you want to give one to Dad, too.
Okay.
I know that you said electrolytes have been helping
I
you.
had some yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, so these are ones that don't have any sugar or stevia or anything. I
Yep.
love these. You are going to love these. I don't know if you saw these in my video recently.
Well-being.
So they are bars. They're like no sugar, no oil, blah, 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 whole food plant-based, but they're made from beans. So like
nice.
there's like 10 grams of fiber in each one of these.
Nice.
So yeah, and I gave you lemon poppy seed because I feel like you would like that
like
one.
that.
And then these are drink mixes depending on what, there's like a deep low, one for workout, one for hydration.
Nice.
And then some Plant Strong almond milk.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks
Em.
for filming with me.
Pleasure.
Okay, so the running joke of my fiance is that he only buys bananas when he's about to leave for a work trip because that's literally what he does. So I have black bananas here that I'm gonna make into some banana pancakes. So long as there is no mold and they don't smell fermented, these are fine to eat. This, for legal purposes, this is not medical advice. But I'm gonna show you how you can make pancakes from bananas, oats, and almond milk. So I'm gonna record that as short form right now. But I'll keep my camera on. Hey guys, I'm here with V. You can see him in the frame. Cheeky Title Saturday. Every Saturday I post a vlog with a cheeky title and then we sit down and chat about it. So this can't be good for me. What is it? I was learning about parenting. As you know, I have 2 kids. One is right here and the other is in my office. Okay, I don't have human children, but I was learning about parenting. I was just watching a vlog with a parent and they were talking about this philosophy that you need to okay, is V distracting you? I don't want to move him. I'm sorry if he's distracting you. He'll get up sooner or later. But they were talking about how you need to let your kids be bored. And I thought about when I was little, how we were bored all the time and we would come up with these games and these worlds and we used sticks to make soup and we just did the most creative. We created a tennis court in my driveway and we didn't even have chalk, so the dividing line was like the shade from the sun. We were just so creative and that came from boredom. And today kids are so stimulated by iPads and screens that they're not bored. And on a very surface level, it makes sense, just like Occam's razor theory, like yeah, that makes sense.
But then I started thinking about myself as an adult, and I wanted to learn some of the science behind it and see if this applies to me, because I'm never bored. I am constantly working, and if I'm not working, I'm stimulated with something else. And by the way, that's by choice. Like, being a business owner, the work is never done, so you always have something to do. I'm not complaining. Like, I'm addicted to it. I'm obsessed with working. It's like the most joyous thing for me. However, because of the nature of my job, I'm never bored. And I think probably everybody watching this video can probably agree that with modern technology, you're never bored. And it turns out, because I was thinking about this and I thought, this can't be good for me. It can't be good for me that I'm never bored, because when I was a kid, such creativity came from boredom, and that had to have been growth for my brain. Like, that has to be good for your brain to create things out of nothing. And if you don't use it, you lose it. So what potential damage am I doing to my brain by never letting it be bored? So I looked into the science, because I wanted to see if I was just like making this up or if there actually is science behind this. And there is science behind the fact that being bored boosts brain activity and creativity and problem-solving abilities. There was a study where they took two groups of people, and they gave one group a very boring task, and then they gave another group a more stimulating thing to accomplish. And then after completing those tasks, they gave the participants a paperclip, and they said, think of how many things you can do with this paperclip. And the people who completed the boring task first were able to come up with more ideas for what to do with this paperclip. So when your mind is bored, it primes you for future problem solving and creativity and thinking outside the box. Also, when we think about, I talk about dopamine all the time, that pleasure hormone, the motivation hormone. When we are constantly flooding our dopamine receptors, we desensitize them. You build up a tolerance, just like people build up a tolerance to drugs and alcohol. The first time, I don't know, I don't want to get demonetized, but the first time they do a drug versus the 100th time they do a drug, it's going to take a heck of a lot more of the drug the 100th time to feel a certain high, and you never get that first time high ever again, because your dopamine receptors are, and a lot of other receptors, are desensitized. And it's the same thing with all the other ways we get dopamine, through junk food and through, you know how you get dopamine, those pleasure bits from scrolling and all of that. When we do that so constantly, we desensitize our brain's ability to feel that pleasure. And it can lead to something called anhedonia, where you don't feel pleasure at all because you've been so overstimulated. So the longer you go without feeling that rush of dopamine, when you do feel it, it's so much sweeter, it's so much more intense. Your brain is more stimulated and active and alive, and it's not burnt out from that constant flow of dopamine. Boredom also improves your ability to regulate your emotions and sit with emotions, and it just improves your emotional maturity, because boredom is associated with stillness and some discomfort and just being with yourself, which is something that many people avoid. So when you're willing to do that and just be present with you and yourself and feel the discomfort, you are strengthening your ability to just feel and regulate emotions, which we were talking about with Healthy Mummy earlier. You have to be able to feel. In order to heal, you have to feel. And in order to have an enjoyable life, you have to have the ability to feel. So avoiding boredom is avoiding feeling. And for somebody like me, an entrepreneur, like when I'm on a plane and I have no Wi-Fi and it's just me and my thoughts, and I like won't even have my computer open, I'm just going to think. The ideas that I come up with are fantastic. It's like Warren Buffett will just sit in his office and just think, because that white space is where you move forward. Otherwise, you're just like caught in the motions. You're on the hamster wheel. So all this to say, I realized that my lack of boredom I'm putting an end to it, and I'm gonna allow more time and more space to be open space, white space, to give my brain a break, create that downtime, and prime my brain so that when it is turned on and being used, it's ready and roaring and raring to go. What is something that you used to do when you were little that came from boredom? Like I shared with you, we played tennis. We must have played thousands of games of tennis in my front driveway. My brother and I would throw the Frisbee back and forth, and we would try to count how many times we could throw it back and forth. I remember our goal was 200 and we got to 199, and then I dropped it on 200. Like we played wiffle ball. Like the things that we came up with, we did skits in the backyard. We played soccer. We'd play like this game with a tennis ball against the fence. The most just random games with random rules. Or my dad would throw the ball up on the roof and then it would bounce down and you'd catch it in your glove. We must have done that thousands of times. Run around the house and time how long it would take. Forts, obstacle courses, dominoes, just like the most random things. We were so creative because we played. And that's something that we've lost as adults too, is just play, the art of play, which I've started to hear some people talk about in the like mental health self-care space, is the importance of play for adults. It's something that I admittedly need to make more time for. I used to play soccer, but that league ended. I played soccer a couple of years ago. But even just like self-play. Okay, I need to clean my kitchen. I love you, honeys. And I'll see you in my next video.